Let's set up an equation for this because we see that we've got a linear equation or a function here. It's explaining a relationship. It's giving us a starting value and it's giving us a rate between the cost and the month. So we can go ahead and set up a linear equation which we could either graph or we can solve this, okay, because we have all the pieces of this. Normally we're missing the y and the x, so we have to figure out ways to come up with modeling this by graphing. But because we have the y and the x value in this case, we'll be able to go ahead and solve for either one, okay? We don't have the x. The x is what we're looking for, actually, how many months. So let's go ahead and put this into equation. The total cost is 420. So that's going to be the value of our function, or what y is. Our slope is the rate of change. It's showing us the relationship between the cost and the time. Cost per month is giving us a change. It's telling us a change. The word per is a big tip-off. So 35 per month is represented as 35x. And then our starting point is $175. And that's going to be our y-intercept. So you can see how this nicely gives us a linear function. Now, because we already know what the y is, we can go ahead and solve this. If we were to graph this, we would be able to see where the x lies by looking at the 420 point on the y-axis and then see what the equivalent x is. So we could figure it out from that, but because we have two, we're going to go ahead and just solve this like an equation. 420 minus 175 is equal to 35x. And if we are going to go ahead and do 420 minus 175, we'll get a 245 is equal to 35x, and then we have to divide both sides by 35, and that will give us an x is equal to 7. So this tells us that after 7 months, she's going to have to have paid out $420. So if you're ever in a situation where you only have so much money to give to the gym, to allocate for your gym costs, and you want to figure out, well, is it worth it for me to join for a year or 7 months? Or how long can I go to the gym for the amount of money I have? This is the kind of setup you would do. Convert this equation to slope-intercept. So we're just shuffling. We have y is equal to minus 2x plus 8. That really looks to me like a good match. Last one, match each equation with its corresponding graph. So we can look at it both ways. We can look at either at the equation first and see whether the information matches. So let's say we took the negative ones aren't going to help us. We have two that are starting at -1, the starting point on the y-axis, -1. And I see two graphs that start at -1. So let's call this one A, B. No, we don't want to do that. We already have that labeled for the equation. So we'll call this one 32. The numbering kind of fell off here. So this one will be 32. So if we look at this and we take this first one, we're saying, okay, well, which one of these has a starting point at -1? Because the y-intercept is -1. Well, 32 does, and so does 34. 33 is out of the running for that one because that's starting at +1. So that tells me already that C has to be the answer for that. Well, let's check. Starting at +1, and does it have a negative slope? Oh, yeah, it does. And is it going down 1 to the right 2? Yes, it is. So we know that 33 has got to be C. Now, let's take a look at how we decide which is which for the other two. So for 32, we're starting at -1, but so is 34. So that's not a lot of help. Both positive slopes. So that's not an easy hint. So now let's check the first one. So we're looking for a rise of 2, going up 2 and to the right 1. Is that happening for this one? Doesn't look like that's happening for 32. Let's check 34. Is it going up 2 and over 1? Up 2 and over 1, up 2 and over 1. Looks like we have a match there. So A will go with that one, and then by process of elimination, C will be that one. But I like to just check to make sure, B, we've got -1, and are we going up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2? Yep, looks like we got a match there. So the answers are B, C, and A. So for these, you need to know that we're looking at starting point on the y-axis, and then do we have a positive or a negative slope? And then once that matches up, you want to just double check your rise over run that you see to make sure that you have it correct.